Welcome to the JAMODI podcast. We are all surrounded by amazing coaches and leaders. So let's get an inside look at not just what they do, but how they do what they do. After all, becoming the best versions of ourselves is JAMODI, just a matter of doing it. Coaches, the JAMODI podcast is powered by Ballogy. Manage and measure your players' skill development and increase accountability year-round utilizing the Ballogy app. Boost inter-squad competition with drills backed by the National High School Basketball Coaches Association, including a 40-shot Ballogy skills assessment. Please visit ballogy.com/teams for information on how you can provide this resource for your team. 500 wins, 25 plus years of coaching and teaching, or what number are you on?
So this is year 27.
Okay.
All at the same school, 23 as the head basketball coach.
Nice. Okay,
Yes,
so 27 years. I mean, I would imagine, like, I don't care what profession you're talking about, you don't stay in it that long without some daily habits that just kind of set you up for success. Or else, you get burnt out, you struggle, I don't know what happens. But so what are some daily habits that you've created that have allowed you to have the career that you've had?
First of all, well, I guess about 10, 11, 12 years ago, I started getting up earlier that I was normally doing. So I would try to get up. I don't know if we had a meeting at 7, I'm getting up about 6:15, something like that. But now, probably about the last 10, 12 years, something like that, I get up at 4:23. And 4:23. Well, I wanted to find, like, I guess a reason or a purpose to get up at a specific time every morning, at least Monday through Friday. And so I started searching, like, Bible verses.
Yeah.
And so I ran across Proverbs 4:23. And it says, above all else, guard your heart, because everything you do flows from it. And so every morning, 10 or 12 years ago, I started getting up about that time, about 4:23. And I take that time out. When I get up, my feet hit the ground. I'm thankful that the good Lord touched me on my shoulder and got me up. And I recite that verse. And then I kind of start my day. You do your routines in the morning, but I guess about 30 minutes, I'm kind of by myself. And so about 5 o'clock in the morning, I'll head up to the school, because I'm about 3 or 4 minutes away from the school. I head up to the school and I get a workout in, try to do that. And then, I think that's the most important part of the day. And it's also tough. Now, It's not easy getting up at 4 o'clock, in the morning. That's hard. So, like you said earlier, winning is hard. Those things are kind of tough. But I wanted to have, like, a standard, something that I can stand on. And so that's kind of what I did. My kids even know that I get up early. They don't ask questions about, I tell them all the time, I say, man, we can practice at 5 o'clock in the morning if y'all want to. No, coach, we already know you've probably been up 2 hours before then, that kind of thing. But I think that's real key for me, getting up early. And this, just trying to, start the day, try to get your mind right, and then, just going through the day. When I work out, I listen to some podcasts or, listen to some inspirational music, something like that. But that working out piece is important too. I'm probably not in the best shape. I probably don't look good, but it makes it's a dopamine feel. I guess it makes me feel good, and I can really go through the day guarding my heart, because when you step into a school building, you're gonna take in everybody's stuff.
Yeah.
Whether it's your own team, your own kids, students that you have that come to your class every day, you don't know what they may have gone through the night. So you got to make sure your heart is right to get ready to accept all the things that you can possibly accept throughout the day. And then at the same time, you still got to go to practice.
Yeah.
Some years we practice in the morning. Some years we practice, we do our athletic period in the middle of the day. And then some years we practice after school. So for Coach Snell, That's a long day. Now, on the weekends, I don't get up at 4:23. It might be 6 o'clock. It's still kind of early.
Yeah.
But I kind of leave the weekend, just depends on what's going on. Try to just wake up naturally.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's 6, sometimes it's 5, because you've just been in that routine for so long, getting up pretty early. So to me that's the start. And I don't know if how people might view success, but for me that's my success. I think getting up early says a lot about how the day is going to go. And I don't believe in bad days. I think it's how you handle the day. I don't believe in it. It may be a tough day.
Yeah.
There may have been some issues. Mondays are hard. It's always something happening on Monday morning. So even though you may have had a great Sunday service, something that's always going on Monday mornings, but I always try to keep my heart open, man, and ready to accept whatever may come my way that day.
Man, so much gold there. And thank you for sharing that. And I think start your day off with a win. And you successfully getting up at that time, check. There's a win. And then,
right.
Monowatsa with PGC said one of his goals is to sweat daily. No doubt, man. There is something to that. When I am feeling not depressed, but when I'm starting to feel the stress or everything going in life, it's starting to overwhelm me. There's a couple things. Most likely, I haven't been in the Word consistently. And I also haven't been working out consistently. And then on top of that, my diet's probably been really bad. And so it's just funny how, like you said, win the day. You start off by doing those things that are hard, but man, think about mentally the path and direction that you're at that point. So you made that shift 10 years ago. Are you telling me that has it gotten easier? Because I'm getting up at 5:15 right now. That's a struggle for me. I'm not good at it. I'm not happy when that alarm goes off. If I bump it back to 4:23 starting tomorrow, how long did it take you to where, all right, I'm good, I'm up?
I don't know, because I was kind of already an early morning guy anyway.
Yeah.
But I would just, like I said, if we had a meeting at 7, I just said at 6:15. And I used to never really eat breakfast. Now I eat breakfast, because now I've made a commitment to that time so I can do all these things. And you mentioned something about, maybe not being consistently in the Word or something like that. Our team, we have a team chaplain. We do FCA at our school. We have a team chaplain. So Monday through Friday, he sends a scripture with an overview. So I do the same thing. So when he sends me the scripture, I share it. So that's another opportunity for me to, continue to read that scripture and just share it with as many people and, that I can. And that's also me helping spread that word. So, that's another thing that I do. I jotted down a few things.
Yeah, no, that's good.
It kind of depends on the season too, because I also coach football. So I coach football and I'm the head basketball coach. I've only had, in my 27 years of coaching, I've only had 3 years away from the football basketball combination. That's when my son was in school.
Wow.
Yeah. So I went, as the head basketball coach, I went 16 straight years going, football to basketball. And our football team would usually be pretty good. We'd go, a couple of rounds deep. And of course, we would really try to do our job and play a long basketball season as well. So, it just kind of depends on the season as to what activities I do when I get up. Because sometimes during basketball season, I may not be able to get that workout in. I may have to jump on some video or plan practice or, get ready to meet with my coaches or something like that. Because I like to meet early in the morning. And sometimes, most of the times, we would have one team practicing in the morning. So we would have to be up there early anyway. Yeah. So it just kind of depends on the year. It's been a lot of years. I probably forgot some stuff, but it's been a lot of years. But it kind of depends on what time of the year it is, on what activities I do when I get up in the morning. But there's always something going on. Yeah,
that makes sense. And you mentioned something early on about your players know that you get up earlier. I think it's not just that they know you do that, but they know that you're a consistent person. And I think what our kids need as parents, what our players need as coaches is to know that we're consistent in the way that we show up every day. I mean, you're probably you've played for coaches, and I did too, where we look around, what's he like today? You know? Which one is it? And that's hard for a player to. And I think nowadays it's a good thing that the emotional kind of awareness, or like we are worried about that with our players now. We are more focused on that. I think a big part of them feeling good about the place they're going to is the fact that you're consistent with who you are and how you show up.
Yeah, and you use that word consistent. I kind of like that too, but at the same, when we're being consistent, we're building these habits. And sometimes these habits can be positive and negative.
Yeah.
So our consistency always needs to be checked. And the way I get my consistency checked at 4:23 in the morning is my wife would be like, "Man, you got up. I know you got up before 4:23 this morning because I'm moving in the bed." Like she don't like it.
She's like, when is that alarm going off? What?
Yeah. You know, sometimes, I mean, I try to hit it quick, but you know, sometimes it just depends on the night before or whatever. But on game nights, or you know, when we get back late, I'm still working really hard to try to pop up, you know, at that time. It may be 4:45, but I'm up before 5:00 a lot of times.
Thank you for checking out today's episode. Please take a moment to subscribe to this podcast, share it with your fellow coaches, and find us on social media for what's coming up next on the JAMODI podcast. It's just a matter of doing it.